right, I'm going to call the Berlin School Committee to order.
I'll call the Boylston School Committee to order.
Since I'm not paying attention, thank you.
And I'll call the
You want me to
regional
sit
school
next?
committee to order. Well, I was going to do the Aspet Valley Collaborative thing first. Bob, are you familiar with the Aspet Valley Collaborative thing? Can you run us through that? Or do we have to wait for Karen for that?
She's a member of the Aspet Valley Collaborative. I don't know exactly. I think she's appointed to the board of directors.
Yes.
And she represents our districts in their sessions. And she has a vote in their proceedings.
This is about the addition of Auburn to the Aspet Valley Collaborative, and all the member towns have to sign off on that.
Mhm.
And apparently we were all supposed to do that by June, and we haven't done it yet.
Okay.
So there's this document that the chairs of the 3 school committees need to sign that says, yeah, we're okay with that.
Okay.
But since we're the last ones,
We're holding up the train.
right.
Okay.
So we'll hold on that agenda item till Karen comes back in case
Okay.
there's more information about that.
And you
Okay.
said it was the Auburn district.
I believe Auburn, yes. Because I had questions about that when I saw it come across. I said to Cheryl, this says Auburn. She says, no, you're not reading it right.
I'm sure she said that nicely, though.
She did. She didn't say it with that tone of voice. That's good.
But we do get some economies of scale by having more members in the district. And
Oh, absolutely.
So-
Absolutely. Okay, so let's do the superintendent search update, which is on everyone's mind this morning. So just quickly, the screening committee completed its work last evening, and we selected, the committee is recommending 3 candidates to come forward to the school committee as finalists. And I'm going to pass these out so you have a copy of them. These are executive summaries of their credentials and who they are. The first candidate is Glenn Brand, who is most recently the superintendent of the Acton-Boxborough Regional School District. The second candidate being recommended to us is Jeffrey Zangi, who is the assistant superintendent in the Tantascwa and Union 61 regional school districts. And the third candidate that's being recommended to us is Dr. Elizabeth Zielinski, who is currently the superintendent of the King Philip Regional Schools, which is a 7 to 12 regional school district. Those are the 3 candidates who've been recommended to us. And Dorothy Presser has contacted all 3 candidates, and I received a message from her late last night. This job gets longer and longer and longer. That all 3 had accepted the offer to come forward, and we're excited at the opportunity. So, that's where we're at. I'm also going to share with you today a redacted resume for each of these. It's been redacted for their personal home address and private information. So please take a copy of each resume so you can learn a little bit more about them.
Thank you.
I'm going to share with each of you also by all committee members by link a copy of their full application packet, so you'll be able to see everything that they submitted. But because this is a public meeting, we will not be sharing that at a public meeting.
I just want to thank Cliff for his work and his long nights, because it's been quite a process, and he's been sick through the whole thing, and
But I'm getting better.
Or maybe sick
done a
because of the whole
wonderful
thing.
I would say that the screening committee was terrific. They put a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort into the process, and the dialogue was tremendous.
They cared. They really cared about the process.
Yeah,
It was
and they
great.
absolutely did. From the initial meeting where there was like, no one knew if they should be speaking or not, there's that, when the group first comes together, that didn't take too long to go away. And everyone felt comfortable sharing their views, disagreeing. People were persuaded to think otherwise than they had thought. So it was a really great dynamic. And everyone was on time. No one complained about the length of the meetings, and they were a great group. I give them all kudos. It was terrific. A real sense of commitment.
Well, thank you for your leadership, too.
Yes.
Well, you're entirely welcome. So a couple more things I need to share with you now. I have the executive summary of the search survey for your edification and review. Dorothy summarized the open-ended questions, and then for the pick a topic ones, they're in here. They're graphed, and it's identified by percentages what each was. So you'll get to take a look at that as well.
And what's the total number of survey
I
responses?
believe 111, but I could be wrong about that.
Okay. Oh, I see, she has responses for each question. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. I'm going to give you another piece of paper. I'm full of paper this morning. Sorry about that.
I like paper personally.
I'm going to give you from MASC a guide for the site visits. I haven't even read it. I haven't even had time to read it, so I'm not going to tell you I know what the content is. But Dorothy is immediately working with the candidates to set up site visits. We believe they won't be able to start until Wednesday or Thursday next week because of the long weekend and the need for people to put things together. Once again, my plan is that I will attend all the site visits. It would be nice if some other committee members can join me at any or all of those site visits, so that it's not just me who's doing the digging and asking the questions. But until we know the schedule, I realize no one's going to be able to commit, to that. But since you're a man of leisure these days,
Besides being an Uber driver.
Yeah, my intent will be to try to, so long as I'm not
yes,
committed to
understandable.
other. But yeah.
Understand. So please take one of these guides and know that I have not read it.
Okay. So you're not going to summarize it.
No, I am not going to summarize it. I can't get to that point. As there should be one for everyone. For the members who are not here, I'm going to send everything electronically, okay? So I just knew that 4 of you would be here. The 4 of us would be here, so we could do that. The next big item on our school committee agenda in terms of the search is the site visits, which we will, go off-site to. The next piece after that will be the visits where the candidates will come to our district, which involves us much less. They're going to meet with, we haven't decided who they're going to meet with yet. So that will be that piece. And then the plan at this point is on Tuesday, October 24th, which was a meeting as needed night, we're going to hold the interviews. All 3 interviews.
And so with all the school committee?
With
like
all the school committee.
Okay.
And they will start at 5 o'clock.
24th, I'm sorry?
Yes, the 24th. We will need to start at 5 to do 3 interviews and then deliberate and choose. So don't expect to get home early.
Okay.
It will be a long night.
Is it wrong that I'm already thinking of what we're going to do for takeout? I have.
I like your thinking. I like your thinking.
Sorry about that.
Emergency rations.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is that so wrong?
And the reason I would like to do that is that we made a commitment to ourselves and to the community. We want to get this done by the end of October. So I think we need to do that. I think we need to do the 3 interviews, and then we need to deliberate and get on with it. So I hope you're all in agreement about that. Okay. Because I, for one, am looking forward to like 10 more meetings in the next 2 weeks. But that's the information. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
So we selected 3. How many did we move off of? What was, just curious, some of the background?
Well, I have to be careful what I say,
Okay.
because we all signed confidentiality agreements
Okay.
about the screening process.
So skip it.
And I'm a little bit uncertain about what I can talk about and what I can't talk
Okay.
about.
My understanding is we can't talk about who the candidates are or any of their background unless they were put forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone at the table, the 12 members, we had to sign a document
Okay.
reminding us that we were meeting in executive session, that nothing that was discussed could be discussed outside of the executive session. So the folks who were in the deliberation should not have ever discussed what went on and can never discuss what went on. And that's for the protection of the candidates.
Absolutely.
Because they're all employed, and so that's for their protection. And the open meeting law allows for that protection. But going forward, that's not true.
It's all up.
It's a public process.
Mr. Brand, is he still employed or not employed?
No, he's not currently employed.
Okay.
Yeah, on the resume.
I would be interested at some point, doesn't have to be today, to hear the backstory there of,
I think that will be part of the process.
Yeah, I think for all of them, right?
Yes, we're going to want to know these candidates as best we can. The screening committee is very invested in the candidates, and of course, they're very anxious to know what the outcome is. But I think I heard statements from the committee that they trusted the school committee to do the right thing and do the search and do the best we can.
So who else, is anyone from the screening committee coming on site visits with you? It's just you and then
This is the work of the school committee.
So they're done.
They're done. Their work is finished. This is the process that the MASC uses.
Okay.
And since we contracted with them, we're using it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
if this information's going to appear in writing, her name is misspelled, just
Oh.
FYI. In case it's going to be in the newspaper.
It will be in the newspaper, so I misspelled.
What is it, Z-I?
Yeah, Z-I-E.
All right, so let me go on record.
Sorry.
So Zielinski is spelled Z-I-E-L-I-N?
Yes,
Okay. So,
according to her resume.
It was late night, so we're impressed
I
you
was
got
typing
this
this
done.
at 11. And I had someone else read it. I said, I'm bleary-eyed. Have I misspelled anything? Obviously, we didn't check the name. Thank you for noting that.
And did Dorothy and the team have been everything you expected? Supportive?
Yeah, MASC's been terrific. Dorothy has been a yeoman.
Yep.
You know.
Okay.
For example, we all left at the end of the meeting. She set up shop in the library at Boylston Elementary and called the candidates and did paperwork and sent me links, and you know, she was sitting at that school till I don't know what time, because I kept getting information from her like till 11 o'clock last night. So I mean, she's done yeoman's work.
Is her expectation, and from her history in doing this, that we have 3 candidates that are moving forward, that we will find a candidate within this group, and the likelihood that one of them will accept, right? And I ask that because, all right, we're at a stage now where we're about to move forward, hopefully with somebody in the next month, right? If something, and I'm being devil's advocate to the process, like if something falls through, are we starting over?
Well, as was explained to the screening committee last evening, the worst case scenario is that the school committee gets to the point where they've interviewed all the candidates, done all the work, and they don't feel they can appoint a superintendent. And then the process starts all over again. That's a worst case scenario. She was not suggesting she believes that that is the scenario, but people asked the question, so she gave the answer.
Okay.
All three candidates were asked by her. She explained to us what she'd be doing. You know, she has questions she asks them when she called them last night. And to make sure that they are serious about their candidacy.
If given the offer,
Right.
would you consider, would
Exactly.
you accept?
I mean,
Now
there's
they're
a-
employers.
There's a
No.
serious set of questions they had to answer.
To deem
for
them
her.
qualified in her?
Yeah.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
that's good.
You may not be able to answer this, but I'm just curious if in the process of coming up with the three candidates, because it was going to be 3 to 5,
Yes.
is there a front runner and the others are great but not as great? Was there a huge consensus, for example, around one of the three candidates?
The committee selected the candidates by consensus. All three candidates are consensus choices.
Got it. You can't answer me. I understand.
And Dorothy was very clear that she wouldn't be sharing, you know, who had more votes from the committee than others, that they would all go into the next round with an equal footing.
It's a gate, you're either in or you're out.
Although they
We'll
weren't
figure it out.
actually specifically chosen by vote.
Say that again.
They were not specifically chosen by vote. I asked the committee to come to consensus around the candidates. There was not a vote per se.
So how did, just process-wise, how did they come to consensus? Did they say, here's my top candidate, you don't have to tell me who it is, but here's my top candidate, and then the process went to, okay, now the,
No, it wasn't like that at all. It was more a question of what candidates would you like to move forward?
And it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 1. There was no number on that.
right, but did everybody share their top 3, or?
No, we didn't approach it that way. Everyone talked about all the candidates.
Okay, I'm still not visualizing the process, but I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable
Yeah,
position.
I just think you should feel confident that you won't be hearing from any screening committee members
That they're not
unhappy with the three
with-
choices.
Okay.
I think that's probably the best thing I can say. Or the most I can say, quite frankly.
And all I'm gonna say.
It's, I will tell you, I haven't been part of this process before. It feels a little bit awkward to me that you've got this group of people who worked really hard to get to know these candidates really well. And then they're handing it off and we know nothing. You know what I mean? Like we don't benefit from all that back knowledge they gained or all those conversations that the screening committee had that led them to these choices. And so it just feels, I mean, I understand this.
I think
Well,
there's
their
a-
task is different. Their task was different than your task. We're the hiring body. So as the employer, we have a different focus than the screening committee would have. We're hiring a chief executive officer who reports directly to us and who is responsible to us and who represents us in the public eye. So our focus is different than the focus of the screening committee. The screening committee looks at the candidates more broadly. And since it's so many different stakeholders, they all had their little tunnel vision, you know, that's probably not the right word.
Their
but
priorities.
Their own priority, their own lens through which they were looking at the candidates. For example, the Board of Selectmen representatives had their lens. Teachers had their lens. Parents had their lens. So sometimes I found myself having to look at a candidate through the lens of somebody else. So, and that was the whole purpose of that process. So it was helped. The process was to winnow out from the pile of candidates the ones that we want to interview, and then the ones that we thought should be moved forward. And it was made clear to the screening committee at the beginning, you are not selecting the next superintendent. And she was clear about that. That's not your job. That job is the school committee's job. You're presenting the school committee with candidates that you think meet the criteria that we as a school district established.
I like the process. I like the fact that we appoint the committee and we kind of, it's behind closed doors, and now we can sort of make an unbiased judgment on the individuals on their own
Yeah.
merit. And I think it's good. I know that you carry with you some of the history because you have.
Well, Jim and I both
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
I mean, and
But-
so I suppose we're the link to the committee, but we're at a disadvantage because what went on in the committee went on in the committee.
And it stays there.
So, but we now, as a school committee, have a responsibility to dig in.
Yep.
And I'm gonna look at these candidates differently now, because we're in a different
Yeah, they're-
phase of the process. We're the hiring body. We have to look at them from that perspective. I'm not sure that's helpful to you, Laura.
Yeah. No, you did a great job describing that.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay. It is a very collaborative process, though, I have to say. I think we demonstrated transparency, collaboration, interest in different points of view. I think that process did that.
And I think the next steps are going to illuminate for us going to the site visits, having them come to us, and those final interviews are all going to bring different things to us,
Yep.
and it will be plenty.
How do we extend thanks to the committee? Is there? Or do
That's
we-
a really good question. I don't know. I don't have a snappy answer for that, but I think
Can we ask Dorothy what she's seen?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Because I think
I'll ask
it's
Dorothy for
warranted.
some ways that she has seen committees thanked.
And we could draft a letter from the school
Yeah.
committee if that's
Yes.
your preference, and I'm sure Cheryl could help us work on that.
Probably worthwhile. I think it's worth.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
nice thought.
I also think that as part of the process, I was thinking about this last night as I was trying to go to sleep. I think it would be good to draft a letter to the candidates who were not successful, just to be professional and thoughtful about that.
Absolutely.
No, I guess it's my job to do that. Thanks.
Cheryl,
That's tonight at 11.
Cheryl can help you.
Thanks for
I mean, that's
thinking of it.
That's a template, right?
Yeah,
I think Cheryl
have
could do
Cheryl
that.
draft
Yeah, I
something.
mean,
She might have something that's
Yeah.
a template.
You
And
can
you
provide
guys
some
have
color to it.
interviewed, you guys were interviewing candidates as part of your screening process, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Dorothy might be able to help with that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just.
So that's a couple more things on the list, but we'll get that done. So, this is not the last you'll hear from me. I'm just taking like a 24-hour break from this process.
Take the
now.
weekend. Take the
Really?
weekend.
Yeah.
Enjoy the weekend.
And then we'll forge ahead with site visit planning and the follow-ups.
In the site visit scheduling in general, you're thinking right after Columbus Day that week?
Yeah, Dorothy didn't think we could start much before the Thursday, which is what, the 12th?
12th is Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, because she thought people would need time, because we've got to do the site visits and then they have to come here and it all happens before the 24th. So there's 12 days to do both.
Can I ask a really weird
The good news
question?
is it's only 3 candidates.
Well, how
Yeah,
do-
thank God you didn't choose 5.
Can I ask a really bizarre question? Site visits, or do we, like, for Glenn?
Yeah, I wondered that.
So we're working on Glenn. Well, no, I'm not working on Glenn. Dorothy has been working with Glenn about the site visit. Because with all the candidates, she had that conversation with them before they were interviewed.
Yep.
The next part will be the site visit. Have you given that any thought? What do you know, that kind of thing. And so she's been in conversations with Glenn about that.
Okay.
I don't want to, I don't know what
Okay.
that's going to look like,
Okay. Good. Good answer.
but I'll let you know.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered that too.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, Aspet.
Do we need to vote
No.
No.
on the candidate?
Information.
Okay,
You'll be voting on the candidates, sure enough, on the 24th.
got it. I didn't know if we needed to bless those three choices.
I think they feel blessed at this point.
So I sent out the Assabet Valley Collaborative Agreement, and they made some changes only because they're adding the Auburn. Auburn would like to be part of our collaborative. Our collaborative has a lot of incredible programs, and we're finding more and more people wanting to join Assabet Valley Collaborative. So they need to amend their agreement, which is what I sent to you, the amended agreement. It was supposed to be done in June, and it didn't get done, so we are the only ones kind of holding up the vote for Auburn. So I tried to sneak it in today, and I apologize if you're rushing today, but it needs to be signed. Let's see, this one is...
Do we need a
Do we need
vote?
to take a formal vote
Oh,
ahead of
we
time?
do. Yes, we do.
Okay,
Sorry.
so Berlin?
Do I have a motion for Berlin to accept Auburn joining the Assabet Valley Collaborative?
Motion made.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
I would request a motion to
So
be made.
moved.
Seconded. Would you, discussion, aye, vote.
For the region, do I have a motion?
So moved.
So move?
Seconded?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's sign.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so Angela,
This is Matt.
and Clint.
Today is the 6th, correct?
Thank you so much.
Bob, could you hand me a pen?
I was going to give you mine, but you're sick, so.
We'll anonymously place it back in the bucket for someone else to use later.
I'll remember that, Mr. Business Manager.
He grabs tweezers out of his pocket to hand it up.
I felt bad last night. I couldn't shake anyone's hand, you know. It's like when I'd greet the candidates. I put my hands in my pockets and they were like looking
So
at me.
awkward, isn't it?
It's like at church when somebody's
Yeah.
sick.
And what is the date today, folks?
6.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, who made the motion for the region?
I got the notes.
Lori made the-
I'll send them
Lori
to
did.
Cheryl.
Lori did.
Yeah,
I-
and Matt
I
seconded.
seconded.
There's the signature.
Thank you so much.
You can keep the pen with you.
It's all yours.
Wise guy. Is there any other business before the committee?
Thank you so much. I want to say that my
Oh.
stress level is so low because this has been in such competent
Executive.
hands, and I really appreciate you.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm good.
thank you.
Do
Thank
we-
you very
Really?
much.
Quick executive session?
Yeah, we need an executive session
For
We-
the region?
to, do we, or do we?
Do
You just
we?
need some signatures.
Do I know what that's? Is it the region?
It is.
We have not
We didn't post it then.
We can't.
post an executive.
But
Okay.
we already voted that
I don't
Yep.
think it-
in,
Yeah,
so you can
Is
just
this a
sign
warrant?
it's
it.
just
No,
signature of a
it's just,
warrant.
oh, it is a
The
warrant.
warrant, that's
Okay.
all.
That's
Nope.
That doesn't
fine.
need to be executive session.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Don't even need to talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's move
So
to
we're-
close.
Well, I have to sign it. Do I have to sign this in the session? Oh, we all have to sign it.
Well, it's a region, so we can close the elementaries. I make a motion to adjourn Berlin School Committee meeting.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
I'll make
Aye.
a motion to close Boylston.
Second. Aye.
Aye. We voted. I've been there.